Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play GearCity with me, Alpha Pi Omega and Republic Motors. So the date is January 1910 and I will make a sort of an intermezzo episode because the game gives us quite a lot of statistics about our company and the world, and I will be honest with you, I never really checked most of them. I know some, but I think it would be fun to look into it together and see what kind of tools the game is giving us at our disposal. So we're going to start by going to the showroom, which has a couple nifty things that we can play around with. I'm going to start by showing you the timeline, which shows the entire development of our company. So in January 1900, we issued 700,000 in bonds at a 0.05% coupon rate. Then we designed a new engine, a single-cylinder 5 horsepower engine named the Spark. We designed the gearbox Junior and the carriage frame in the same month of January 1900. On September the same year, we designed a Phaeton under the Republic Motors mark with the name Natalya 1902. It was the first trim of the vehicle. Later, we created a new vehicle model about, it would be 14 months later. On February 1902, we designed a Phaeton under Mark Republic Motors with the name Natalya 1903. So that was the second trim. We started selling Natalya on January, I think, and the very next month, we have designed the next trim, which was even better. The same month, though, we designed a new 32 horsepower V4 named the Match, which is a pretty nice engine. I think we're still using it up to this day, though it's a Mark II. And the same month, we designed a new chassis called the Ladder. We built a branch in Philadelphia on April 1902, and then, that's nice, Republic Motors Natalya 1902 won the Best Phaeton in North America prize for the year 1901, I guess. That's interesting. Or maybe that's... No, that was in 1900, 1902. I don't know why there's 1901 here. I guess it might be the prize for the year 1901. I'm not sure. On January 1903, we designed a new sedan, Rudolph, trim 1905, which was our second vehicle. Then we started building a new factory in Philadelphia, which had 3 production lines. So we opened the branch in the city on April 1902, and on September 1903 we built a new factory there. Then Natalya 1903 won the second prize, the model Natalya won the second prize for the best Phaeton in North America. It was a 1902 prize, so that's probably the year of nomination. And then Natalya won the Best Phaeton of the Year award. Oh, nice. On April 1904, we designed a new Phaeton called Natalya 1905. That was the first and last trim of the original Natalya model. And then we won again the Best Phaeton in North America prize. On January 1905, we built the branch in Boston and Baltimore. And on February, we expanded to Cleveland. We designed the Spark Mark II, which was a 2-cylinder engine with 15 horsepower on April 1905. And the same month we designed another engine, V6 named the Flame, which was a 40 horsepower engine. That was probably for our touring, wasn't it? Then we designed a new gearbox, 4-speed non-synchronous gearbox named the Sire, and we started building a new factory in Pittsburgh the same year on July. The new factory has 3 production lines. We upgraded our factory at New York in September, and then we won a couple of prizes for the year 1904. Natalya 1905 won the Best Phaeton in North America. Rudolph won the Best Sedan in North America, and Natalya won the Best Phaeton of the Year award. Then we created a new vehicle model, which was Rudolph 1907, so that was a redesign of the original Rudolph. And then we designed Natalya 1908, so this is the second generation of the Natalyas. And In 1906, we designed a new touring named Victor 1908, which is why we designed this engine, the flame for it. Then a couple more prizes were won. 1906, Rudolph was the best sedan in North America. Rudolph 1907 also became the best vehicle of the year in North America. In 1907, Rudolph was the best sedan of the year and best vehicle of the year. Wow! That won so many prizes. In January 1908, we built a branch in Buffalo and in Detroit and in Pittsburgh. And at March, we expanded to Chicago and Milwaukee and Cincinnati. The same month, we designed a new gearbox named Fuel Saver. And we designed a new engine, which was a radial 5-cylinder engine named Match Mark II. Then we designed a new chassis called the Samson. And we designed, that's for our truck, the locomotive V8 engine with 110 horsepower. And a new gearbox called the Muscle. And on January 1909, we designed a new pickup truck under the mark Republic Motors with the name of Lado 19010, and we upgraded our factory in Philadelphia the same year. And finally, on March 1909, so about 8 months ago, we designed a new sedan. No, that's 9 months ago. We designed a new sedan under the mark Republic Motors with the name Rudolph 1911, which will be the first of the new generation of Rudolphs. So now we can check our vehicles. You have them here by the dates. So 1902 Natalya was the original car that we have. We have some statistics here to check. Its top speed was 23 miles per hour, which is not much, but its weight was only 551 kilograms, and total cargo space was 350 liters, and had a 3-speed non-synchronous transmission. We sold only like 960 of these ones, which is not bad, not bad. And 960 average sales per year, 240. Well, that doesn't, it counts the design years, so 240. Then it was upgraded to Natalya 1903, which had a slightly different model, extra mirror, and it had one extra headlight. And these ones we sold slightly more. We sold 1,679 of these. It was, the same speed, same cargo space, but it was slightly lighter and was only 538 kilograms. I think that was the upgrade to the engine. That was the 1903. And 1905 had a rear bumper, and that was the really first one that we sold quite a lot of them. We sold almost 5,880, which is decent. This car was further upgraded to Natalya 1908, which is a fully new generation, and we already sold almost 7,000 of these, 6,738. Natalya can now drive up to 31 miles per hour, so that is actually a decent upgrade. It has 8 miles per hour more. It also weighs about 120 kilos more, but has about 160 liters more worth of cargo space. It has the same transmission as the original one, but has a new 188 gasoline 2-cylinder engine, which is decent, better than we had. This one, however, didn't win any prizes. The previous one won a regional and a global award. The one before won actually 2 regional awards and 1 global award, and the previous one also won a regional award. So the one we're selling right now probably has some better competition because it's not bringing us the fame that the original one did, but it's bringing us the money. That's the important part. It's also interesting to see the difference in sizes. The original Natalya was about 2.5 meters in length, and this one is 0.5 meter longer, so it's almost 3 meters long. It's about 1.37 meters in width, and this one is 1.62, so it's also quite wider. Yeah, it's quite wider. And it's actually not as high as the original Natalya. That one was higher. I think that might be I don't know, could it be the wheel? It seems that the new one is taller, but that might just be the game perspective playing with me. So that was Natalyas. And we also have two Rudolphs. We have the original Rudolph and then the upgraded 1907 trim. So the original one weighed 1.3 tons, which is insane. It weighs more than twice of what Natalya weighs. And its top speed was 29 miles per hour. So it was faster than the original Natalya, but is worse than the new generation. It used the same transmission, but it had a V4 gasoline engine with a 32 horsepower, which the original ones all had 5 horsepower and the new one has 15. So this car, well, it needs way more when it weighs so much more. Its total cargo was 1,326 liters worth of stuff, so it is about triple the cargo space of Natalya. It also won a regional award, while the 1907 won, 2 regional, 2 global, and 2 best vehicle awards. This car has it in it, though it's really not selling so well. When you look at Rudolph, it sold 1,372 cars. The second generation sold 3,870 cars, while Natalya itself, sold way more. But this was our car for the people, while Rudolph was a bit more on the luxurious side. I'm also interested in the fuel consumption. So Rudolph can go 8.5 miles per gallon. The second can go 9.4 miles per gallon, while the new version of Natalya can go 15 miles per gallon. Yeah, that's because of its way lower weight. I guess if I just made the design a bit more compact, lowered the roof, but that just wouldn't seem like a sedan from that time. So that's kind of interesting. But I like the design, the looks are pretty decent. We didn't do any changes to Rudolph between the trims, it was just an interior change. But the new generation of Natalya is really different. I like how it uses the same front. And I think I kind of nailed, the design looks really similar. It really does look like a natural evolution of the car. Okay, and then the last car that we have is Victor, 1908. We sold about 2,073 of them so far. It has the most horsepower. It's a 40 horsepower car. It uses the V6 gasoline engine. It has a different transmission as the other cars. And is it faster? Yeah, 53 miles per hour. Damn, that thing is fast. I think that's nearly 80 kilometers per hour. That's really, really interesting. It also has a decent cargo, 925 liters, and it has over 4 meters in length. Oh, Rudolph also, 3.78. But Victor is definitely our longest car. Its weight is 1,140 kilos, so Rudolph is slightly heavier, which makes sense considering its composition. And damn, Victor also has a nice fuel consumption, 14 miles per gallon. Not bad. I mean, by today's standard, it's horrifying, but for a car of this time period, I think that's really not bad. Okay, so what about components? We can see how much of what we produced. So the carriage frame, we produced 8,519 of those, and same for the spark engine. So these were probably only used in combination at Natalya. Yeah, they were used for Natalya 1902, Natalya 1903, and Natalya 1905. While the junior gearbox, we produced almost 21,000 of them. Look at all the models that were using it. 1902 Natalya, 1903 Natalya, 1905 Natalya, and even the current 1908 Natalya is using this gearbox, while it was also used by Rudolph 1905 and 1907. We also produced 14,539 chassis of the ladder type, which was used by Rudolph 1905, 1907, the new Natalya model 1908, Victor, and it's even being used by the Rudolph 1911. So that's decent. This one is still being used and will be used for the foreseeable future. The match engine, the engines, that's interesting. So we have what, three, and this one also. So originally we produced 8,519 of the Spark engines, and we now produced almost the same amount, 7,037 of the Spark Mark II engines. That's decent. Then we have the Flame engine, which is produced for Victor 1908. We produced 2,170, and same with the gearbox called Sire. These are used exclusively for the model Victor. And now we have prepared for production the Samson chassis, the locomotive engine, the muscle gearbox, and the Match Mark II engine, and the fuel saver gearbox. So this is kind of interesting. I'm interested. Oh, you can sort it. Definitely, that's nice. So you can sort it by types and production. Yeah, here we have it sorted by type. So that's interesting. That's going to be, once we get further in the game, this is going to be real interesting to see. And model compare. Oh, these are the models of the competition. Okay, and mark catalog. Okay, I'm not really interested in that. I'd like to go back to the... Oh wait, there are reports. Oh, let's check it in the office. Okay, now let's go and check the reports about our company. Now we're looking at the monthly summary quite often because that's the most important high viewpoint of our performance. But I think there are way better stats here that we can check now. I don't have, I started playing on normal because I wanted to get more acquainted with the game. Once we get into me being a bit more competent and confident in the game, we can bump the difficulty up by a notch to hard, and we can start playing with more competitors. But then the game becomes insanely hard. I'm not kidding. The jump between normal and hard is like jump between the lowest and highest difficulty in Doom. It's incredible. I'm not kidding. You will see yourself when I try that. We will be lucky if we will make it a decade. So anyway, the cash flow is here pretty good. We have quite high expenses, but we're still in a profit. We're paying something for warranties, storage costs, and stuff like that. For this difficulty, unfortunately, some things are disabled. Like you don't have to pay for. Well, there's you have to pay pensions and stuff like that as you play on the harder difficulty. So I have to say that I'm looking forward to seeing that a bit more. Now let's go with the city sales. This shows where we're selling how much. I think I already showed you that, but as far as profits go, let's go with revenue. So our most profitable office is, of course, in New York. Then there's Chicago, okay, Philadelphia, Cleveland, Baltimore, Boston, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Detroit, and Milwaukee. Actually, we're making a decent profit on each of the cities, even the smaller branches. So we could potentially go lower. Because when you look at that sales... Though I think that the revenue might be... Okay, that's probably not... Yeah, those are just sold cars. That's not the profit. So let's say we're making $1,000 on each of the cars. Yeah, we're still in a profit, but that's a bit more important for me than just saying, we're making 48,000 here, because we're paying 8,000 per city here, per Milwaukee, but this is just the sales, how much we earned but we invested in those cars. We manufactured 15 cars for this price, and I'm trying to have at least 30% margin on each of the cars. So yeah, we're still in profit, but this is why I'm saying that the smaller towns might not be worth your time, because the expenses outweigh the income. Here we have a graph, okay, sales and production. So we're producing in Pittsburgh, New York, and Philadelphia. And it's interesting that New York, where we started, is not our biggest producer. It might be a good idea to up the production in New York here, because honestly, well, you're paying shipping cost for your cars, and if we just managed to produce a bit more in here, because the second factory, manufacturing a car here and taking it, for example, to Istanbul in the Ottoman Empire will be way more expensive than just selling it at the place where you produced it. So that's why it's a good idea when you expand to different continents to build up new factories over there, so you don't have to ship your cars overseas. That was something more down here. City sales, production, and inventories, revenue, expenses, and profit. Okay, so that's just a bit more complicated. Same screen. So now let's look at the vehicle sales. Sales, production, and inventory. Oh, we still have 283 Natalyas in inventory. I actually think that we're paying for that, aren't we? For loan cost. Storage cost, yeah. We're paying for storing our cars, so it's better to sell all of them so you don't have to pay. This is just coming from the reserves here, so we should... Well, we're selling slightly more than we're producing, so the reserves will go down. But once we get the new models, we can just stop the production, sell them out, and sell the new ones. Or produce the new ones just like that. Okay, here are districts. I'm actually not that much into districts. I don't know how to use them effectively yet. But we'll see. What I imagine is just setting the factories. For example, the factory in North America is not going to ship your cars into Europe. So that's what I imagine districts are about. Okay, so revenue summary. Revenue reports. We have vehicle sales here, bank interest, total revenue, total expenses, cash flow. This is where our revenue is coming from, the vehicle sales. There's possible for racing, for merchandising, military contracts, civilian contracts. I really skipped over this because you get the contracts in your R&D. And here, for example, we have requests for engines, okay? So, yeah, we have here, for example, Guard Racing is looking for an engine with 609 limit and at least 180 horsepower for the GearCity Cup Series. They require 141 units in a month and will pay $4,823 per unit. Defaulting on this contract would cost $38,280. The submission deadline is on January 1911. So here we have a contract. You should design an engine that will fit. You design it here, and then you just sign up for the contract, and you produce the engine. You can do not only engines, but entire cars, for example. Wait, where's the contracts? Vehicles. Yeah, there's so many. Like, Canadian Army is looking for a pickup truck. Okay, actually 2 pickup trucks. They want 256 of one and 384 of the other. But there are certain requirements here. For example, they want Vlado to be powered by water. And we're producing it by gasoline, but otherwise this car would fit. If any of the contracts that you see here can be fulfilled, it's green. So, yeah, they want, for example, a sports car here. The Netherlands Army is looking, again, for a pickup truck. Oh, wow! Actually, Vlado would fit this one, but it's under development. 6. When will Vlado come? In 5 months? Actually, we might be able to do this contract. I've never had that happen before. Vlado actually fits. Oh, however, they would pay us only $2,264 per car, and just the production is $2,161. Yeah, they want way less torque and way less cargo space and way less speed. So this is like a cheap manufactured car, Project Deepwater. So you can. The good idea is to check this later when you have more development and time and experience with the game, and you can submit some of your cars into these contracts and win them. But I've never actually managed to do any. I don't think there is any such contract, because usually the requirements for these are just too high. Yeah, like we can't even design an engine this big. But if you do, it's worth it. Especially at higher difficulties, I think you need these to survive. But in my experience, I was never really that much into it. So let's continue. We checked the vehicle size, the district sales, the revenue summary is the one that we looked at right now. Oh, okay. So here is a bit better overview, and that's probably the interest, right? Yes. No? OME parts revenue? That's weird. So what's next? We have the licensing revenue. I'm not licensing any components. What you can do here is that you can either license. You can outsource your engines so they're produced by someone else, or you can license them so someone can use them in their cars. I tend not to use it because, at least at this difficulty, I am using better components than most of the AI players, so we can't get any licensing revenue nor contract revenue. As you saw, we have no contracts. Stock holdings. This is kind of interesting, but we do not really have any stock holdings, nor are we present on the market. You can, of course, do an IPO and get your own shares, and revenue and market data, but that would mean that someone can trade and buy our company. Now, you can, of course, buy out other companies if they're interesting. Like here, Corax is probably making quite a lot of profit, but they're very new. Holy hell, some of these is it 1,115,000,000,000? 1,115,498,000? Or is that? No, that's wow. Holy hell. Okay, so whatever this company is, it's huge. Damn it. Okay, dividend revenues would be from us getting or paying out dividends. Now, operations, expenses summary. Here we can see what we're paying for. So most of our expenses are for factory, where you can see we're paying $780,000 for materials. Factory cost is not that expensive, and factory labor is also not that expensive. So most of our expenses come from materials, which is good. You should not have. You should have this ratio. Once your labor gets close to materials, you're doing something wrong. R&D, I think we might want to invest a bit more in R&D because we can afford it. So I'm going to start from the next episode probably pumping more money into research, because research is, of course, very, very important. Miscellaneous, that's warranties and defects, storage costs, we've already covered that. Company summary, monthly revenue, okay, distribution. Oh, this is interesting. We're paying about $10,000 for transportation, which is not much. We're not paying that much, which is good. Distribution of labor, well, that's not bad. Branch cost is also not that bad. But if the transportation goes up a lot, we'll need to look into it. Also, we could, I think, start investing more in marketing. So R&D and marketing, I'll probably start putting more into that now that we are well established. Administrative, I guess this is kind of okay. There's not much issues there. Is there any more stats here? Yeah, okay, so our biggest expenses are materials, then factory cost, branch cost, then one-time expenses, and the rest is minuscule. So we are fine as far as that goes. Factory, we can see how much we produce in each factory and where we have the inventory. Okay, that's fairly good. I didn't know that. Okay, so you store your cars at a factory. That actually makes quite a lot of sense. So all of our cars that we have are stored in Pittsburgh, and we have some wear and tear on our companies, but that's not bad. Also, the vehicle capacity here. Oh, okay, what is this? I don't know what that is. Employees, labor cost, factory cost per unit. Okay. Branches, we know about that. These are sales. So again, most sales are done in New York and then in Chicago, which is what you would expect. That's not so surprising. These are some costs per units. Generally speaking, things are fine. We didn't enter in any racing, so that does not really bother us. Marketing, most of our marketing is done via miscellaneous, labor, sports, events, billboards, magazines. I think we should start investing a bit more into that. Marketing efficiency, okay, abysmal. Okay. I guess we really should be putting more into marketing. Employee breakdown, this shows the wages. Okay, so we're paying the same wage everywhere. So this probably comes into play at hard difficulties where the factory workers want more wages. And we have some engineers and administrative workers here. Okay. Pension payments. Okay, that's something that I spoke about. We're not paying any pensions right now. Warranties and parts were okay. Parts revenue. Okay, so the Rudolph 1905 seems to be the most profitable. Okay, that's interesting. Warranty expenses and net profit loss. I don't know what this means. Oh, okay. So that's how much we're paying for warranties. So it looks like the least reliable is probably Rudolph. So this is where, I get it. So this is where reliability comes to play. So the more or the less reliable your car is, the more warranties you have to pay for it, which makes sense, of course. And it makes it so that here you can see what the expenses are. That's interesting. Didn't know that. Total delivery cost. Okay. So these are the costs that we pay for deliveries and outsourced contract we have known. Financial, we know these. Quarterly. So revenue sales are actually going up by 15%. That's good. Compared to the years before. Cost of sales has increased by 42% though. General administrative by 55%. Cost of labor. But revenue has increased by 15%. So we are fine. Cost of racing down by 100 because we're not there. Net expenses. Operating profit was lowered though. Taxes were lowered and net income was lowered. I guess this is probably because of the investments that we are doing. An annual. Okay, so our revenue actually went down. It increased greatly in 1908 and 1909, but now we are slightly down. Again, I think this is mostly because I dropped the prices and we are doing a massive investment into new generations of our cars. And industrial, you know the body fuel type, so that's still the same. We get the Phaetons as the most popular. Then there's touring, so we get these two covered. Luxury sedans we're not doing, but we have sedans. Sports cars, okay. We might want to check a sports car later on when we have some good engines. Coupe, roadster, full-size sedan. Microcars and landaulas are not very, very good. Sedan, luxury sedan. Okay, sports cars are way more popular in Europe. Phaetons dropped a bit, sedans. South America, Phaeton, sedans. In Africa, shooting brake and Phaeton. Labor skills, abysmal, horrible research. But you can see that our research, we're doing a lot of research, so that's actually pretty good. Engine engineering ability is poor. That's good. It's not great, but poor coach working design. So I think that we might just want to design more and more, create new projects, and make people design more so that we're doing better. Prestige image. Mark, where are we? Okay. Republic Motors. Our image is fantastic, luxury is great, performance is fantastic, and quality is great. Okay, but it doesn't seem like we're that great in anything. Okay, our image is second best beyond Clyde. Luxury, we are not great because, quite honestly, we haven't been really investing in that. We are here. That's still not bad. Performance, we are best. Okay, best in performance, and quality. Okay, not so good. Wow, really not so good. We're on the second page. So we should probably look more into the quality. But generally speaking, I think we are doing fine. Vehicle class market share. Phaetons. 228,000, okay. Leader is burned all with the market share 12%. We have 1.5% of the market share. And we have 2.1% of touring and 1.8% of the sedans. Yeah, I'm playing it safe. I know. I'm not expanding as fast as I could, but, just I don't want to overshoot it. Company directory. Okay, revenues. Wow. Holy hell. Yeah, we're down here, revenues of 18 million. Okay, you know what? We're gonna make a vouch here that our goal for the next decade is to jump into top 20 of in revenues. That would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we would need to triple our revenue. Holy hell. But I think it's possible. So I never checked these. I didn't know that you could see this. These are all the companies that are in the market, and some of them have insane. Yeah, this is the guy that has such a huge stock price. They're about 10 times bigger than we are. Their profits is 124 million. Well, our profit is 3 million. Jesus. Even in normal, I'm getting my butt kicked. Top 50 all-time vehicle sales. I don't think we're anywhere here. Type. Though, maybe we are somewhere at the end. Natalya could be here. No. The worst is 16,000. I think we're about half of that. Month vehicles and a market cap table. Okay, we saw this one already. Charts, all-time market share. So we are here. So we're growing, not great, but we are growing. We have about 1% of that about sits there. So we're increasing, Okay, our next goal is to increase our market share. I dig that. I kind of like that, and I dig that. We're going to do that. Recent world market share. Yeah, we're here. Okay. Monthly revenue, expenses, and cash. Yeah, we have a nice profitable company. I like it. I mean, we're doing our thing. We're not really expanding too fast, and it's nice. Vehicle sales charts. Yeah, Natalya is just kicking the butt of every other car that we have. This is also a very good chart to see. So we sell about the same amount of Victors as we sell of Rudolphs. Okay. And yearly profits, okay. Yeah, we're growing. It's true. Our expenses have always fell short of revenues, but now we're losing a bit of our revenue, and while we are earning less, we spend more. There was a little time when in 1904 where we were not profitable in vehicle sales chart. We saw that. And net worth. So our net worth is $16,298,836, out of which $10,305,894 is cash. Okay, we need to start investing that money. I'm not gonna lie, we need to start investing that money. We'll go through rapid expansion in the next decade. Though the First World War is going to come around, and that's gonna be our big test for the upcoming years, because having a big cushion for that is good. Now, before we end this extremely long episode, I wanted to show you some of the maps, because the per capita is increasing now. You should see it. Yeah, we had like 380 in New York. Now it's 469. So most of United States has this. How's London doing? London is doing great, 472. So it might actually be worth our while to start a factory in the United Kingdom and just cover these 4 big major cities. A huge factory could be built here, and we could just cover the entire UK. That could be a good expansion plan, because while we want to expand in United States, I think selling in UK would be a good idea too. And in Russia, that's Poznan. Moscow has, no, that's Minsk. So Moscow is here. 143, yeah, it's still not good. Algiers is at 68. Istanbul 83. Someone asked me if it's worthwhile to start your company somewhere like in Africa. You can, but you need to export your cars into Europe or America. You cannot start in 1900 and make it work if you're, for example, I don't know, in the Ottoman Empire, because you can. Your customers will pay maximum 5 times their per capita, so you could sell a car for, what would be that, $415. You can do that. But you can expand. I often thought that it might be a good idea to start somewhere like in 1920s in Russia or Japan and have a nice little interesting campaign there. But that can happen at some other time. So I guess this is our 1 decade overview. I think this is kind of cool. And I thank you for joining me. And we'll be continuing and expanding because we need to. Damn, I had not realized how better our competitors are doing. So I'll see you in the next episode where we lay the foundation to expansion. Yeah, I say it now. We're going to go to United Kingdom. We're going to expand. We're going to invest the money into expansion in United States and also expansion in United Kingdom. That sounds like a good idea. So join me for that in the next episode.